Hello everyone, so seeing as how today is Lunar New Year, we thought we would make a special video dedicated to the Year of the Dragon. So we'll be covering every dragon that will be in the base game and one dragon that will be planned for our funding stretch goal. We'll be going through each ability one at a time, starting with fire, ice, water, acid and finally lightning, and then the smallest to largest in each element. I'm going to try to keep each dragon under 1 minute so the video isn't over 20 minutes long. The Valad is a small omnivorous fire wyvern that can often be seen scavenging in flocks of 15 or less members. While they have the capacity to devour most things, this particular wyvern has a liking for meat and can often be seen bullying other predators off the carcasses using their special ability. Valad is capable of creating dark smoke that is released from its rib-like appendages that open up when it's ready to release. When inhaled, this dark smoke can cause visual and auditory hallucinations, which become worse the longer the target is exposed to the fumes. Valad, unlike most other wyverns, has 4 wings instead of 2, which it uses to spread its smoke for a larger radius. Valad has a fire-breathing ability that is capable of breathing long streams of fire and creating fireballs. It also has sharp teeth and claws that it uses to tear flesh. Dustry is a medium-sized herbivorous dragon that is flightless. The saurian drake is known for its remarkable defense against predators. Dustry has a large durable keratin formations that grow on its head and arms, which it can bring together to create a large shield to resist attacks from the front. Despite being smaller than many of the other carnivore dragons within the region, Dustry are very persistent and proven to be capable of fighting off predators larger than itself. The fire dragon's special ability consists of it being able to channel its elements through the caverns within its shield arms before releasing that pressure and creating a powerful punch. As a last resort, Dustry can charge all of its elemental bile and unleash a fierce pressure from its arms that creates a bright flash explosion. This will momentarily disorientate and blind nearby creatures, which gives Dustry a chance to flee for safety. The Vulcan is a large, powerful fire dragon, the classic European myth with 4 legs and a pair of wings. On the contrary of popular belief, however, the Vulcan is a ground predator that is actually more comfortable on land than in air. While it is capable of powered flight, it is far from elegant and only flies short distances in search of a quick relocation. These highly territorial dragons are very emotional and quick to anger. The more damage it takes during a fight, the stronger its flames burn. Once the Vulcan is below half health, it begins to do more fire damage, the more desperate it becomes. Luminara is a small ice dragon found from the cold Arctic biomes. These small dragons can put most creatures into an inescapable icy linen trap, a unique silk-like webbing that is capable of being created from its beak. Walking into these threads will progressively slow the victim's speed until it becomes immobilized. Luminara can also use these webs to shoot up to high places to swing itself up to, so it can easily bring itself to a proper height to perch or glide. Though the Luminara is omnivorous by nature, it too, like many other ice dragons, will be opportunistic with its cold and unforgiving cold tundras. It be delicious fruits, plants, or helpless baby dragons, Luminara will harvest the goods with glee and cover it in silk in order to store it for later. Theic is a flightless drake saurian of the cold desert. Despite not having the wings, this herbivorous dragon is known from its hardened battle armor and flash freezing abilities. The back of the Theic is covered by strong armor plates that protect it from the most damage. When the dragon realizes that it's unable to escape a potential threat, it will curl around itself into a defensive stance. When curled up, it cannot be harmed as easily, and the dragon can withstand many physical attacks from other creatures and humans. However, spears appear to be a weakness as the sharp sticks and tips easily get between and below the dragon's scales. Icy Crown is the largest predator of the Arctic winds. This icy wyvern receives its name from the crown-shaped horns that decorate its head, which may refer to as the ice royalty. These large aerial predators are known from their soul-tearing screams. It is a sound so loud that it disorientates anyone within its proximity, intimidating even the largest and strongest souls. True to its royal status, the Icy Crown's ominous form demands that of respect from any unfortunate creature that stumbles upon its icy domain. Aruins are small semi-aquatic dragons of the continent. These dragons are herbivorous and spend most of their time underwater, grazing on the bottom of the floor or sunbathing to warm up their body temperature. Aruins are fast and agile but lack the stamina to fly long distances, instead preferring to traverse through rivers and lakes when wandering towards inland away from the ocean. The dragon's special ability comes from its very smooth and round scales that are able to store water between them. When grabbed by a predator, Aruin pushes the water onto the surface of its scales, creating a form of lubricant that easily allows it to struggle free from the predator's grasp, similar to that of an eel. Aquarius is a great sea serpent, a horrifying monster from the fisherman's nightmares. By the time one sees this bioluminescent patterns glow from the depths of the sea, it's already too late to turn back. Aquarius has 6 almost insect-like members that are located under its head, which the dragon uses to stab, grabbing small prey and chunks of flesh and then dragging it into its mouth, while also able to use these 6 members to drag itself onto land to move around. These monstrous creatures dwells deep within the oceans. It's adapted an immunity to the salty methane underwater pools which would normally paralyze and kill many other creatures. These death pools are Aquarius's favourable hunting grounds, as the beast is capable of dragging down prey much larger than itself into these underwater pools, where it finishes and kills them. The Theic Song is the largest of the sea dragons. The largest opportunistic hunter spends their entire lives at sea, only coming into the shallows to nest. Theic Songs are not shy and will curiously come forth to investigate new things and see if they are edible. Thus, humans are very skittish of these large dragons for a reason, as these massive dragons will destroy common boats and eat fishermen's spoils. The unique feature of the Theic Song is that it does not have the usual water breath or spit. Instead, it has ranged spit-like attack that has a substance similar to thick ink, which this dragon uses to disorientate creatures and try to make them fall into the sea where the prey is easier to access. This substance is also known to cause momentary blindness if it gets into their eyes. Vitus are small acidic dragons with a personality and intelligence similar to corvids. These Xylent type dragons are very social and live in colonies, often in forested areas and cliff sides. These are great problem solvers and are said to even be able to recognize people's faces. There are some stories about how a colony of Vitus has held grudges against those who have wronged them. Vitus have a unique wing structure that allows them to move 3 of their wing digits freely from each other, giving it the ability to make sharp and swift turns, making them one of the most maneuverable dragons on the continent. Noctura is a medium carnivorous dragon of the acid element tree. It's a flightless lindworm dragon that preys amongst the tall, dense forest canopy, ambushing its prey from above with its massive tail that is equipped with a powerful spike that resembles a spear. Noctura are seen as very cunning dragons. These dragons, though flightless, are capable of gliding short distances in search of the best hunting spots. They burrow into carcasses and hide in them without being noticed by most other creatures or humans as an ambushing tactic. Female Noctura are known to use the carcasses of their prey as their nesting grounds, laying their eggs inside the still warm bodies to keep their eggs warm. This provides food and safety to the young once they hatch. Truffle is a large herbivorous dragon, also flightless drake. Although it doesn't look like much at a glance, the herbivore packs a punch of its own. While Truffle is not the most agile among the drake-type dragons, it possesses a resilient nature that challenges even the most persistent hunters. These dragons possess a thick hide and fur coat that protects the back of their bodies. Truffles are capable of creating their own acidic cocktail, which is a unique substance to their species. They can use this substance to groom their thick fur coat, which offers additional protection from predators. It has a foul taste that when bitten, the predator receives a mouthful of acid, forcing the attacker to momentarily gag in disgust and pain. Kirin is a small flightless drake, a common dragon species that humans often mistake for deer or, in other European mythology, unicorns. This lightning dragon is known to be usually passive unless provoked. While they are skittish, they will defend themselves against most creatures of their own size. Kirins are quite social and can often be found in herds, which are led by the oldest matriarch. The unique ability of this species is that the lightning element momentarily increases their speed and defense, surrounding their bodies with crackling lightning that intimidates most predators. The Prawn Reaper is another lightning dragon that is flightless. Reapers are a drake that is known for its immense agility and speed. It's a fearsome predator that lurks anywhere from the highest peaks of the land to the deepest watery depths. It uses a paddle-like structure beneath its tail to channel and recharge the electricity out of water, which it can use to stun its prey for a short period of time. Prawn Reaper's movements is particularly diverse compared to many other dragons. For the size of its limbs, it's very nimble and agile. Capable of climbing walls at a rapid pace, it can leap from wall to wall without getting tired and with ease. The Exo is the largest lightning dragon on the continent. The Exo is a terrifying flying beast that is unlike anything seen before. These large dragons are a rare sight due to them spending most of their lives soaring above the clouds, only ever coming down to feed or nest. Exos have massive territories that often overlap with other dragons, typically ignoring other dragons as they see no reason to risk themselves with life-threatening injuries. Exos are very powerful dragons despite being clumsy and slow on land. Even while landed and most vulnerable, there are very few creatures that would dare to approach it. Due to their large bodies, these lightning dragons generate and store massive amounts of electricity, which they are capable of releasing at will and causing lethal damage to their target. Well, that's the end of the first 15 elemental dragons for the base game, but now we've got a bit of a surprise for you guys. We're not going to let you go without a secret, however. There are more dragons to come after the base game has been completed. This following playable dragon is planned to be one of the free updates for the Wings of Dawn if our stretch goals are met during the funding period. So introducing the Dredg Lu, the draconic worm is a nightmarish creature that lurks beneath the ground. It uses its large mandibles to move dirt and sand as it swims beneath the ground's surface. However, it cannot burrow through hard terrain and stone. The tips of its large hood and a distinct rattling-like sound created by its hood being the only sign to any unfortunate victim before it strikes. The Dredg Lu is capable of ambushing and bursting through the ground's surface at an alarming speed. If it hits its target, the large worm will damage and envenomate them with a neurotoxin. When the target has been afflicted with Dredg Lu's venom, the victim is momentarily prevented from using element and flight abilities, paralyzing them for a period of time. Fight or flee if you can, but to some species, this is a complete death sentence. So that was all the base dragons for our game. We did not include the apex dragons such as the Hydra, as we're still working on those and we don't want to hand out any false information. But if you want to keep updated, please join our Discord below, or if you want to support us, head over to the Patreon. You can also go and follow and wishlist the game on Steam, which does actually help us out more than you know. There's a few behind the scenes things going on with that. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a happy Lunar New Year. And remember that, as it's the Year of the Dragon, this will be our Year of the Dragon.